What an astounding place.
It is the village of Eden the Cardinal Mother told you about. The place where natives and priests live together. I must admit that I'm curious to see it.
All that's left to do is to find Father Justinius. Father,
I'm glad to see you, my child.
the Mother Cardinal has asked me to investigate the theft of these tablets you discovered.
That's excellent news. The loss of the tablets is a catastrophe. We have to find them at all costs. If you want to learn more about these tablets, you should go ask Sister Eugenia. She supervises the theologians who discovered them, and you should find her a bit further in the...
Who are the suspects of this theft?
The heretical brutes of the village of Ved. They must have wanted to please the demons they worship.
How could they have learned of the
Perhaps the demons are giving them this power. Unless one of them... They are so naive. Either way.
I must leave you.
May the enlightened...
I wonder what really happened when the missionaries came to settle here.
It all seems a bit too convenient. If we find out some information about the history of Eden, maybe we'll change our view on things. The theft of the relic is probably not a coincidence. Father,
I'm glad to...
tell me about how you created this village.
We did not create it from the ground up. It was built around an existing native village. The islanders called it Vigsanegad, which translates to the village of the old sage. We saw it as a sign. The natives had probably chosen this name in memory of Saint Matthias, and everything here fit the description of Saint Lucius. The discovery of the tablets proved us right. So, we decided to rebuild our Eden here, in the spirit of peace and harmony which is described in the scriptures.
Why share this village with the natives?
To replicate and resume the work of our founder, of course. If he came here and managed to convert the natives, then it is our duty to do the same thing. By living side by side with them, it is much easier for us to pass on our teachings.
How well do you get along with the natives who live here?
Very well, of course. Especially since those who opposed our presence left.
Left? To go where?
Oh, to other villages, I imagine. Does it even matter? Those who stayed are on the path of enlightenment. Some of their legends must have been about Saint Matthias. That helped to convince them.
And how well have neighboring villages welcomed you?
With some reluctance, to be perfectly honest. So, we sent them missionaries. There are still frequent conflicts with the village of Vedlug, a highly violent village of heretics. But the other villages, the more peaceful ones, are slowly starting to listen to the sacred word.
There is something strange here.
It often takes time for the people of the continent to get used to our paradise, but I am sure you will come to appreciate it.
I must leave you.
May the enlightened...
I am busy. If you have questions, go see Sister Eugenia. She's our supervisor.
Do you have any ideas about who stole the tablets?
Some of the village savages helped us during the search. Perhaps they are behind all of this. There was a particular woman who seemed to want us to be there. I don't remember her name, though.
Hello. The Mother Cardinal asked me to help. Can I ask you some questions?
Of course. But hurry, I have a lot to do.
I talked to Father Justinius. He told me that you were supervising the theologians here.
Indeed. It is under my supervision that the research on Saint Matthias is conducted.
Where were the tablets the night they were stolen?
We were keeping them in one of the village's shacks. We intended to bring them to San Matthias later. But first, we wanted to examine them in order to obtain as much information as possible. You can go and take a look in the shack if you want to.
I imagine someone was keeping watch over them.
Of course, we took turns guarding the shack. But some of us can't have taken the task that seriously. If I remember correctly, it was Brother Virgil who was guarding them that night.
Whom do you suspect of being the thief?
Alas, I'm afraid there are many suspects. These tablets are priceless relics. Some settlers may have fallen prey to the lure of profit. The heretical natives of Vedlug may have wanted to take them away from us. Or it could have been vengeance by those who had to leave the village.
Well, thank you for these pieces of information.
I am the one who should be thanking you.
The Mother Cardinal told me that this village had been... Are you one of the theologians who helped in its...
Yes. I was sent here to and then I stayed.
What was the reaction of the natives?
Most of them were not in favor of us. They were afraid we might chase, and there were even more protests once we started talking about searching for... I suppose they thought we would destroy all of their raised stones and other places.
Were there any confront...
Yes. The warriors of the village attacked. The Inquisition managed to make them run away. The islanders tried to attack, but we stood our ground. And when Lur, the chief of the village...
Thank you. This Thank you. Greetings. Desarde. I am handling the investigation into the theft of the tablets.
I'm Brother Virgil. What would you like to know?
According to your colleague, you were the one in charge of guard...
Indeed.
What can you tell me about that night?
No, nothing in particular. The night was quiet.
Someone had to enter the shack to steal the tablets.
I have no idea. The door.
Do you suspect anyone in particular?
Not really. What I can tell you...
Well, Sister Eugenia...
Of course. But our motivation, all that matters to us, is their value as proof.
Do you think the culprit...
Well, since none of us did it, it seems obvious. There aren't many... And the natives knew of the existence of these tablets before we found them.
They are the ones who led you to them.
Well, we conducted the research, but they helped us find where they were hidden. Some inhabitants of the village.
Well, thank you.
As you wish. But you won't find any. There were witnesses to the discovery of these tablets. We have all the proof we need.
What do you mean?
Now we can prove Saint Matthias lived here. Our actions on this island are just to keep rummaging the way Sister Eugenia does will only create...
I was not expecting a theolo... Have you been in Eden for a long time?
2 months, approximately. Back then, I joined Sister Eugenia's team with some of my colleagues. So we arrived straight from Ptolemy. But once we were here, I understood that we must bring them.
You talked about a mission with the natives. What did you mean by that?
I may be under the command of Sister Eugenia. Our mission is to banish pagan cults. The island belongs to Saint Matthias, and therefore to...
If your superior's Domitius, you are a member of the Ordo Luminis. I did not expect to find one of its members side by side with the missionary.
The Order goes everywhere the light needs to be revealed.
You have a very unique way of seeing things. How are your relations?
When I arrived, we were still trying to obtain, but they were very reluctant to give us any answers. Our attempts eventually made some of the inhabitants of the village react back. The warriors and the marked. The ones the natives call, and it has proved nothing but a blessing. I would like to go back to...
Of course. I will leave you...
Hello. I am Lair, the village leader. Well, I was the leader of this village.
Hello. Desade.
There are Onol Manawi among the Logead Blau. I did not know that. What do you want from me?
I've heard a lot of things about this village of Eden.
I'm not sure, Roy.
Tell me about the arrival of the people of...
The priests were roaming around the village. They were asking questions. One morning, they were building houses next to ours.
The priests told me that they had managed to convert you.
As long as we refused to listen to them, they were violent. And so, we let them talk. And now that they think that we love, some of the things they say are beautiful, and their magic is impressive. But...
One of the theologians told me that you had helped...
They wanted to find tracks of the old sage, of the one they call Saint Matthäus, and they were rummaging through everything. Our Donegad did not want to tell them anything, because... But since they violently interrogated everyone, I do...
What happened to your warriors? Why did they...
They did not accept the presence of the priests, and I questioned. They even asked Deirdre, the chief of Vedl. So, the priests called the Soul Lasser. I asked for peace, and the others left.
Aren't you angry after all that happened?
No. I mourn those who died, of course.
Your opportunity for what?
For the Renaigse to understand who we are. But men, perhaps
I have to go.
Like...
I knew that the story would be more complex than we'd been told.
I find it regrettable that my colleagues aren't more honest when it comes to history. Nothing solid has ever been built on lies.
Either way, the resentment here is strong enough for a theft to occur.
If you are saying that these tablets bear writings from the very hand of our holy founder, then we must find them. Without them, all our research to trace the life of St. Matthäus on this island is doomed to failure. If these savages have stolen them, we will have to take them back, by force if necessary.
There is only one entrance and the door shows no evidence of a break-in.
Brother Virgil can't have cared less about these relics. He must have fallen asleep on duty. And then, someone must have just stolen the keys from him.
It's very likely that that's what happened, but someone must have informed them. It can't be a coincidence that they decided to steal it during the watch of the only neglectful guard.
So, we have to find their accomplice, the one that informed them, and who...
We know that this theft could be an act of vengeance by the natives. They must still have allies in the village, family or friends. We should go. He will certainly know who is close to the exiles, and enough about the researchers to inform them.
You have returned on Alman.
I think I know who stole.
Really?
I believe those who were exiled from your village seek vengeance because they must have taken the tablets with the...
You may be right.
You do well to tell me what you know. Once the priests have reached the same conclusions as I have, how do you think they will...
You're probably right. I do not want to break the peace that I think the name of the woman you are looking for is Vindwa.
If she's helping the priests, why...
Her son is one of the warriors who had... If you go talk to her, please, do not hurt her.
I have no intention of hurting her, but things may not be so simple. I have to go.
Lord.
Greetings. Are you Vindwal?
Bertia Tumad. Yes, that is me. What do you want?
Listen, I know you helped the exiles to steal...
No, this is not true.
There's no point in denying it. I know you did it for your son who had to...
If you know that, then you know that I don't have the tablets.
The only means of alleviating the situation with Thélème is to give the priests their tablets back. So, if you don't want your son to suffer their wrath, it would be best if I could retrieve them discreetly.
Bran and the rest of the... If you want to take the tablets away from them without being seen... And please, do not hurt...
Unless you protect me in this battle!
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Let's see if we can ward off this
Here's the place that Vindwal indicated. The exiles must be near.
These people have been banished already. There's no need to add death to their list of punishments. Let's try not to fight them.
Don't worry, we'll be discreet.
In that case, we should avoid taking the left path. If I remember correctly what that woman said, it's booby-trapped.
There, we found them. Now all that's left to do is to return to Eden.
Protect me in this battle!
A bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go!
May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Here's the place that Vindwal indicated. The exiles must be near.
These people have been banished already. There's no need to add death to their list of punishments. Let's...
Wait! What are you doing here?
I'm not here to fight you, but I must retrieve the tablets of Saint Matthias.
What? How do you know we have them? And how? Not Freddy. We will not give them back! We lost...
I know that you are seeking vengeance, but the priests will not be the only ones to suffer the consequences of your actions. Your mother helped you, and once they find out about it, she will pay the price in your place.
No. She only told us which night we...
I doubt the Ordo Luminous will care. They will need...
Very well. All that's left to do is to rejoin...
What are you doing here?
I was worried for my son.
Don't worry, all is well. I managed to...
Or you will go see him and tell him to find another clan. A place.
I retrieved your relics.
Thank you. Thank you immensely. Thanks to them, we will be able to continue our research on St. Matthias.
I am curious to know who is responsible for this theft. The culprit must be brought to justice.
I do not want to point the finger at anyone. You have your relics back, and that's the only thing that matters.
Your indulgence honors you. But how can we be certain that these thieves will not strike again if they are not punished?
A good start would be to keep a better watch on the priceless treasures that you find.
In any case, you would do well to keep a better watch on your discoveries in the future. You should also pay more attention to those who share this village with you. This theft would never have happened had you truly been in harmony with the natives.
But that is precisely what we desire more than anything. We may have been a bit clumsy in the beginning, but we'll make sure to improve things in the future. You really were a great help. I would be most grateful if you agreed to continue helping us.
I might come back at some point, but alas, I'm very busy.
Naturally. Either way, we are certainly capable of continuing our research without you.
Actually, I must go back to my work. Our next expedition must depart as soon as possible.
Your next expedition?
Our brave researchers must continue to follow the tracks of our founder on this island. In the meantime, here, take this as a token of gratitude for the help you gave us.
Thank you. I hope your expedition will be a success.
Glad to see you. I intend to prove to the Admiral I will have to go through. So,
it would be...
Did you want anything else?
I must leave you.
My dear child, what can I do for you?
I'll see you...
Take...
Oh, there you are, Your Excellency. The Enlightened has heard my prayers.
What's going on? Where are the others?
After deciphering the content of the tablets, they went north, but they must have encountered problems. Brother Fidel, he most likely came to seek help, but he fainted.
I'm not a doctor, but I may be...
Oh, please do. Any help would be appreciated. We've done our best, but our magic has proved inefficient. And the healer we sent for will certainly arrive too late from San Mateus.
This man is burning up with fever and he bears several bite marks and traces of blows.
The blows did not put him in this state. He looks like a victim of poisoning. With the right antidote, I think we could get him back on his feet.
Have you tried giving him any anti-poison?
Of course, but to no avail.
And no matter what happens, you always... This man was in the swamp. We know it's home to many, but local healers will certainly know which antidote to use. We could ask Lair. He will direct us to someone who...
Onol Manawi, I heard that you managed...
Did Vindwal tell you?
Yes, and I feel more at peace. And you proved me right.
I need your advice. You may already...
I heard about it.
He has all the symptoms of a poisoning. He must have been bitten by a creature of the swamp. And we're looking...
So, you came to see me. Interesting. Alas, our Donegad is one of the exiles.
Thank you. I will go see her. I have to...
Here you are again.
What can you tell me about Lair?
He is a man of peace. Some people dislike him, but I think the mind shakers. He almost speaks like them.
I have come to ask for your help.
I do know a few of them.
One of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition.
And now he has the Llewellyn fever. We have a good knowledge about...
Do you know which antidote you...
Yes. These priests are idiots. You are different. So, I will give you the potion to cure them. Make him drink this remedy and he'll get better.
Thank you, Vindwal.
Where am I?
You are in Eden. You're safe.
Was I unconscious? Swamp is so hostile. We weren't...
What caused these wounds?
A nightmarish creature. A colleague and I had left to fetch some help. I managed to run away, but I don't know what happened to him.
Show me the location of your colleagues on the map.
There. Please.
Thank you.
Thank you for curing Brother Fidel.
You should rather thank Vindwal.
Protect me in this battle!
A bit of poison on my blade. And let's go!
May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Let's see if you can ward off this fate!
May the enlightened protect me in this battle!
A bit of poison on my blade. And let's go! Yeah!
May the shadow engulf our enemies!
A bit of poison on my blade. And let's go! Let's see if you can ward off this fate!
Bit of poison in my blade. And let's go!
Shadow engulf our enemies. Shadow engulf our enemies.
You just wanted to...
Hey, what's happening here? I could hear you from miles away.
Your Excellency, I'm so happy to see you. You arrived right on time to settle this matter.
How did you manage to find us in the middle of this swamp?
Brother Fidelis managed to reach Eden. He's the one who told us where your camp was.
But he didn't leave alone. What happened to Father Orbricus, who was accompanying him?
He must be dead, like our other companions. This is all your fault. This is yet more proof that you are not fit to lead such a team. I should be the one in charge.
Maybe you should calm down and explain to me what's happening here.
This expedition was undertaken with no concern for common sense. We are not equipped to explore this type of place. Our people are disappearing, and all we have found are some falsified writings.
Brother Virgil is terrified, which probably explains why he is being so disingenuous. We have made incredible discoveries, and we could find more.
You are beyond redemption. I won't waste another second talking to you. If you want to talk to me, Your Excellency, it will have to be without her.
How charming.
Your Excellency, I hope you will forgive us for that scene, but ever since we arrived here, it has been unbearable.
Before anything else, I need...
What would you like to know?
For what reason were you...
The expedition itself, I'm afraid. Virgil was... For him, our discoveries in Eden were sufficient. They confirmed what he wanted. According to him, we should never have continued. And when we found new...
Were they also written by Saint Matteo?
Without a doubt. The handwriting is the same. There are also some but what really angers Virgil is our founder explains that he learned a lot from the islanders. Something he now persists in saying that these tablets are fake.
Brother Fidelis told me that several members...
Yes, that's why he left, along with 3 more of our colleagues are missing. And I'm not even talking about the ones who fell ill. I must admit that I made a mistake. I should have prepared this expedition more thoroughly.
And no one has searched for those...
I wanted us to search for them, but someone, along with lack of preparation, our constantly decreasing number, and...
And by someone, I suppose you mean...
Indeed.
I'm thankful for these pieces of information, but you understand...
Of course, that's understandable.
Brother Virgil.
What do you want?
Can you explain to...
The reason for it is very simple. It is Eugenia. The discoveries made in Eden were sufficient, but she organized this expedition in a hurry, and now she's accepting as facts the delirious writings we discovered on these tablets.
What do you mean?
We found some new tablets, but their content is so... I am certain that the natives must have found these.
How would they have done that?
They must have been helped by an unscrupulous settler. How would I know?
Brother Fidelis told me that some of...
They did not go missing. They were killed. And let's not forget the savages. We can feel their presence, roaming around the camp at night.
That's strange. There aren't many...
Those savages may very well have... We will not be safe on this island.
I see. So
we can die as well.
I cannot take sides in your quarrel for now. And even if you think they are dead, we have to try finding your colleagues.
Well, if you are prepared to take such a risk, I would not get my hopes up. You should start to get there. Take the path south of here. But be careful. The creatures that...
This man's skull is sunken, but he doesn't look like he was in a fight. Could he have fallen?
That is unlikely. Look, my child. The wound is located at the back of the skull. I regret to say that in my opinion, he was struck from behind. With a mace, most likely.
This man's death was no accident, nor was it linked to any predator attack. It was caused by a violent strike to the back of the skull with a mace. And it didn't take place here. The marks surrounding the body show that it was moved, most likely to make it seem like he fell to his death.
The unlucky protect me in this battle!
Put poison on my blade, and let's go! Let's see if we can ward off this fate!
May the shadow engulf our enemies!
The armor will no longer protect you!
This poor soul was almost entirely devoured. He must have been killed by swamp animals. Even so, this wound looks different from the others. It looks like a knife wound.
Alas, anyone could have stabbed this priest. Both natives and priests carry knives.
The body of this man was devoured by beasts, but it happened after he had died. One of the wounds is clearly a knife wound. But alas, it's impossible to know who was wielding it. The cause of death is no mystery. This man was attacked by one of those large reptiles, a Lawolan. And yet, these iridescent marks on his skin make me think that a stasis spell was cast on him first. He was intentionally immobilized so that he would fall prey to this animal. It seems obvious now that these disappearances were orchestrated.
All these disguised deaths, these abject crimes. The natives can be violent, but they are not deceitful. I'm afraid that Brother Virgil may have found a way to take control of the expedition. He should be judged for it.
Indeed. I think that we should go find this brother and ask for an explanation. Brother Virgil.
Your Excellency!
Indeed. I regret to say that they are indeed all dead.
I knew it. What a waste. Eugenia and her recklessness are to blame for this.
I'm afraid someone else is responsible for this. These deaths are not accidental, and yet they were disguised as such.
The savages! Their thirst for blood is unquenchable. I knew we should never have come without an escort.
Oh, Virgil, would you please stop taking us for fools? The natives had no hand in this.
Who else could it be?
Someone who desperately wanted this expedition to fail. Does that remind you of anyone?
Fine. You unmasked me. The Ordo Luminis sent me to keep an eye on this, to ensure that the discoveries we made would not jeopardize. But the inscriptions on the tablets are a heresy. Can you imagine what would happen if it was said that our founder, but even then, foolish Eugene, without realizing that our entire nation could suffer because...
I understand that you might want to protect your nation, but to go...
Come now. What would you do if some... You cannot make me believe that you would not, but since you want to avoid using violence, help me convince... My colleagues and I know how to sort through these discoveries. And you will be...
It is undeniable that these discoveries could cause a... But he has no right to decide what should be revealed or not. Be careful with your accusations, though. Eugenia and her colleagues are on edge. We wouldn't want them to start killing each other.
Sorry, Brother Virgil, but I cannot accept. The research will continue, and the decision to reveal them or not will be...
I see. My colleagues and I will go back to Eden.
Alas.
How horrible. But how?
I doubt it. Brother Virgil is responsible for these...
What? But why?
As I do not have the authority to arrest him, if you want him to face judgment, you will have to report...
You are right. As soon as we get once more, your help... Alas. We will have to go back to Eden as well. There are too few of us to continue the research.
Were you hoping to discover more?
Of course. This place was but as the last tablets speak of a journey northbound. But even if Virgil is no longer a threat, we
could go there for you if you wish. You just have to tell us...
That would be marvelous. Of course. I think I noticed a path going north when I was there, actually. Perhaps you will be lucky enough to find more of his writing.
Don't worry. I will...
the everlasting protect you in this battle.
Let's see if you can ward off this strength.
May the shadow engulf our enemies.
We should rummage through this area. If someone lived here, it must have been in a drier place.
Shadow engulf our enemies! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Let's see if you can ward off this strength.
May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Let's see if you can ward off this strength.
May the shadow engulf our enemies! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Move away! Things are about to get dicey! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Be careful! Your armor is falling apart! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
They broke your armor! Be careful! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
May the shadow engulf our enemies! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Move away! Things are about to get dicey! Green blood! I can't hold on much longer!
May the shadow engulf our enemies! Be careful! Your armor is falling apart!
A cavern. Hermits often choose places like this when they want to live away from the world.
Someone lived here. No doubt about it. You'll have to turn the place upside down if you want to make sure the old maintained.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle! May the enlightened protect me in this battle!
To my help! And death to the others!
These murals are magnificent. If St. Matthias did come here, this is where he must have settled.
Let's take a closer look at these paintings. We may learn something from them. This mural is very ancient. It depicts an old man dressed as a priest getting his face painted by a masked native. This mural is very ancient. It depicts an old man dressed as a priest getting his face painted by a masked native. This mural depicts an old man praying in front of a face in the mountain. He's holding a rosary. Saint Matthias. Praying to Enon Miel Frictimen. Looks like a chaplet made of pewter. It's rather basic, but it was made a long time ago. And it undeniably comes from the continent.
This is incredible. Saint Matthias is often depicted or described as using a similar chaplet. Oh, I feel so lucky to be here. In this cavern where our founder lived.
Engraved tablets. They resemble the ones we recovered in Eden. We should take them with us. The researchers would be delighted to study them. There are some native symbols here, and some letters I recognize, as if someone had tried to write in the native language using our alphabet. Men duis dat, enon mil frictimen. This is incredible. Saint Matthias would have known about the spirit of the island and would have prayed to him. I don't know these glyphs, but these spirals are native symbols. There are some words in our ancient language next to them. The light and the earth are the two faces of a same power. It's impossible to know if this is a translation or another sentence. But this is a message that would seriously displease the Inquisitors.
I don't know if you realize the importance of what we've just discovered. Saint Matthias, the founder of Ptolemy, finished his life worshipping the islanders' god. This is so incredible. Although it will cause a huge upset for our nation, our cult, and our relations with the natives.
I wonder what I should do with these relics. Eugenia probably didn't imagine that Saint Matthias lived his life in a way that's so different from what they advocate. As for Virgil, he wasn't wrong. Such a revelation will...
To think these old things could cause a civil war. It is a serious responsibility to decide what to do with them.
I already took sides in their quarrel. If I change my mind, I'm afraid that it might be... I'll think about it on the way there.